Hey guys, welcome to Center Mass TV, where we give you the who, what, when, where, and why of the trucking industry. Today we have some really big news for you. Some of this kind of dropped back in December, but it's actually official at this point. It's really awesome. This is from the FMCSA. I've also got some news about pay increases, which is huge for 2021. So stay tuned. Let's get that moving. Here we go. All right, guys, once again, welcome to Cinemass TV. My name is Jake Zeke, and we have some big news for you. Like I said in the segue here, it is huge. The FMCSA has finally gotten their heads out of their butts, we'll just say it that way, and they have gotten some things moving that are really going to help the industry. So let's dive right into it. So this was actually announced on Thursday, December 17th, 2020. The U.S. Department of Transportation's Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, that's the FMCSA, today announced a final rule to streamline the process for men and women interested in entering the trucking workforce. This new rule will allow states to permit a third-party skills test examiner to administer the commercial driver's license skills test to applicants to whom the examiner has also provided skills training. This is big. So what we had going on in 2020 was drivers were going to orientation and they were just basically sitting around, especially new drivers, because they were required to take this skills test. They were required to do these things. And during the pandemic, the workforce was actually cut so far low. The training wasn't there. Drivers were sitting for weeks on end, paying for their hotels, losing interest, leaving the industry before they even got into it. It was a huge blow. We had already taken a huge blow in early 2020 when the clearinghouse hit because we lost 47,000 drivers almost immediately. They became ineligible due to the clearinghouse rules. And so with a 60,000 driver shortage that was already there, plus the 47,000 that became ineligible, this became a huge issue. We weren't getting new drivers in. It wasn't really filling. A lot of old drivers decided to cut it loose this year as kind of the final straw. And so we're suffering. It is suffering. The demand for freight is so high and truck drivers are just not able to enter in. So previously, just to kind of go over what this changed, the federal rules previously prohibited a third-party CDL skill instructor who is also authorized by the state to administer the CDL skills test from performing both the instruction and the qualifying testing for the same CDL applicant. This final rule announced today eliminates that restriction and permits states at their discretion to allow qualified third-party skills trainers to also conduct the skills testing for the same individual. This new rule is designed to alleviate testing delays and eliminate needless inconvenience at the expense of the CDL applicant. Once again, this is huge. Like I said, basically what was happening was drivers were going to orientations. They weren't able to take their skills test. Old drivers that were decided to get back into the industry were being everybody was just in this state of stagnant, no movement, and they were losing interest, leaving the industry before they even got into it. This is really big news. It's about time we finally got this stuff going on. So give you a couple of quotes here. The U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Elaine L. Chao, said that during the COVID-19 public health emergency, truckers have been American heroes. Now, I disagree with this. I disagree with this statement right here because truck drivers have always been American heroes. Always. They're the only reason that consumer goods get from point A to point B. Now, the fact that she says this like this is kind of just disturbing, and it kind of shows the environment that truckers have been in for so long. But at least finally there is some recognition going on, whether it be during the pandemic or not. So they have been American heroes, and the department is committed to helping our economy by reducing unnecessary barriers for those interested in obtaining jobs in the trucking industry. So that's great. It's finally some movement here. But once again, I disagree with that statement for one reason, is that truckers have always been athletes, have always been heroes in the American lifestyle. I don't understand why that was lost, but at least we're getting it back. Also, the FMCSA Deputy Administrator Wiley Deck came out and said, under Secretary Chao's leadership, the Trump administration has continued to examine ways to provide common sense regulatory reform and help individuals seeking to enter the commercial driver industry. This new rule will provide states more flexibility during the ongoing public health emergency to test CDL applicants and allow more drivers to safely enter the industry. great news. Once again, there's nothing really bad about this. This is a fantastic compromise between, making sure that drivers are safe, making sure that motorists are safe, but also getting the industry moving again. So the rest of it just kind of goes into the FMCSA is focused on reducing regulatory barriers for CDL applicants, kind of like what they did in March 2019, where they made it easier to upgrade from Class B to Class A. I mean, the rest of this article really doesn't matter. The things that matter about this are, like I said, the regulations are changing. It's allowing for new drivers to come in. And one big note to take from this, if you are an aspiring truck driver or a driver currently that's going to be required to take a skills test, this does not go into effect till 60 days from the publication in the Federal Register. Now, I don't see this registered yet. This is January 5th. I don't see it yet. That doesn't mean it hasn't been registered yet. It just means that it hasn't been updated. So if it was actually published, if it actually got published in the Federal Register back in December, we're looking at around a February implementation date, somewhere between mid-February. But if not, if it's going to be in January, then we're looking at 60 days from whatever January date. That could push us into March. And so make sure you stay tuned, hit the subscribe button. So when that does happen, we will let you know. We will be keeping up with this. We'll keep a very close eye on it because this is important to the industry. Now, the other side of the news today that is really great news, I'm super excited about, is there is a projection right now this is from talkbusiness.net. They've actually been really, really good about predicting some changes in salaries, things like that across different industries. And so I kind of put a little bit of trust in this. Now, is it going to be exact? We don't know. Once again, this is from the internet. Anything can happen. Anything can change. But in a recent Yahoo Finance interview, U.S. Express CEO Eric Fuller said that he expected driver pay to rise between 15 and 20% this year and even more than 20% next year as freight demand rises. That's huge. That's giant. U.S. Express is a mega carrier. They're a big guy out there. And so if they're predicting a 15 to 20% increase, that means they're gearing up for it. That means they're getting ready for it. You don't just say those things without having some sort of backing behind it. You got 14.6 billion tons of truck freight going around this year, and that's expected to be even more, by next year. And so along with, the projections of 2021, there being up to a 200,000 driver vacancy, this is huge. This is the time to get things moving. If you're already in the industry, this is a time to make some moves and get those pay increases that you're looking for. You are in demand. You are absolutely in demand, and you have those tools. Now, both of those things being said, both of those announcements happening, if you got two things out of it, number one being that it's easier to get into trucking, and two, that pay increases are happening, but you didn't really understand any of the mumbo jumbo or care about it. That's okay. That's what we do here at Center Mass. So go ahead and go to www.centermassrecruit.com, or just in the lower link of the description, there is an Intelliapp link that will take you straight through it. Just to fill out your Intelliapp, one of our agents will get back to you within 24 hours. Let us navigate all this mumbo jumbo. Let us work out a deal. Let us negotiate with the carriers. Let us get you into the career move that you're looking for. Whether you're a new and aspiring driver, or you're a driver that's just looking for a change, or you're a driver that's realizing that this is your time to get that 20% increase, let us negotiate all that for you. Let us go through the clearinghouse rules with you. Let us get the certifications. Let us do the legwork. You keep driving. You keep doing what you're doing. Let us work for you. That's what we're here for. So again, from all of us here at Center Mass Recruiting and Staffing LLC, my name is Jake Seek. This has been an episode of Center Mass TV. We hope all of you have a wonderful and safe day. Keep all 18 on the road. Have a good one.